Large retailers like grocery chains, apparel chains, and even well-known brands like Sephora, Burger King, and GameStop are announcing mass store closures in 2023 due to economic threats affecting various industries. The situation is so dire that experts predict the national brick and modern footprint may decrease by up to 20%, which would be the largest annual decline since the start of the crisis. This crisis is unusual and may result in more closures than there were during the outbreak. In our most recent video, we highlight 20 prominent brands that are closing down stores, giving viewers the chance to shop at their favorite stores one final time. Due to mounting economic difficulties, Burger King, one of the most well-known fast food businesses, plans to close hundreds of locations by the end of 2023. Burger King owner Brands International Inc.'s CEO revealed that between 300 and 400 outlets will close their doors in 2023, far higher than the average number of closures every year. In order to strengthen the health of its franchise system, Burger King will concentrate on collaborating with smaller franchisees in a manner that is comparable to how several Burger King franchisees filed for bankruptcy, leading to the closure of 124 locations and leaving fewer than 7,000 in the United States. As sales in the apparel industry continue to decline, Banana Republic is drastically cutting its physical presence. By cutting out pricey leases and switching to online platforms, the parent firm hopes to save the business, which will cause the closure of 130 locations in 2023. Regional supermarket giant Stop & Shop will close 5 underperforming locations in New Jersey and Brooklyn in 2023. For GameStop, the largest game retailer in the world, the outlook is bleak, with more than 1,000 U.S. locations already closed. According to Lori Raya, president of Kroger's, the company is facing serious difficulties as a result of the poor performance of hundreds of its stores, which forced the company to close those stores and resulted in the loss of thousands of jobs. The Mid-Atlantic region. Due to their ongoing losses, the corporation could no longer afford to keep these locations operating, further complicating the problem. Complicated by Kroger's merger with Albertsons, which requires the business to liquidate over 500 locations in order to comply with legal criteria. Retail analysts expect that a wave of closures may be imminent, and this is likely to lead to even more job losses. Similar to this, the well-known non-profit chain of thrift stores, Goodwill Industries, is having trouble staying open. Since it has become difficult for Goodwill to maintain its stores due to falling sales and rising operational costs, the company has already closed at least 18 stores in the second quarter. More closures may be forthcoming. Unfortunately, customers have reacted negatively to these closures, believing that Goodwill is abandoning the communities it serves. There are other retailers struggling as a result of the COVID-19 epidemic gas besides Fossil. A well-known retailer is dealing with the same issues as consumers. Trends dramatically change sales. After dropping by 50% in the first quarter, Gas has announced plans to close about 100 stores, or about 9% of its network. This move is intended to rebalance the company's finances, which have been negatively impacted by the pandemic in April. According to Carlos Salbarini, CEO of Gas, the stock has dropped by about 52% year-to-date. The company's retail portfolio might be optimized to boost profitability, as seen by the recent decrease in stock performance and anticipated demand in the new normal market climate. The retailer intends to start closing stores as soon as their leases expire, which will help save costs and allow the business to concentrate on reforming itself to better respond to the changing market conditions. The difficulties encountered by Macy's and Green Zebra parallel those of the greater retail industry, which has been severely impacted by the pandemic and the subsequent economic crisis. Due to rising expenses, supply chain interruptions, and greater competition from online shopping, many businesses are finding it difficult to stay in business. Brick-and-mortar retailers, in particular, are up against it as more and more customers turn to e-commerce for their shopping needs. For instance, several businesses are actively investing in their online presence and providing innovative services like curbside pickup and home delivery to match changing consumer demands. In these situations, it is crucial for businesses to communicate honestly with their customers and employees and to assist those affected by job losses in finding new employment opportunities. In the long run, the retail industry will continue to change, and the businesses who can adapt and innovate will be the ones that prosper. Doing this is not just the correct thing to do, it can also assist to limit any bad impact on the company's reputation and brand. According to him, McDonald's is taking strategic steps to get ready for the impending recession. The fast food chain plans to close 10 field offices, lay off hundreds of corporate workers, and close over 100 stores in 2023. Additionally, McDonald's USA President Joe Erlinger warns of the potential closure of 1,000 locations due to the Fast Food Accountability and Standard Recovery Act, a new California law, might mandate that fast food establishments pay their employees a minimum wage of $22 per hour and an annual rise of 3.5%. Erlinger said that the Quick Act would make it very hard for small business owners to operate restaurants and would give an unelected council of political insiders control over crucial business choices rather than local business owners and their employees. He also cautioned that such a pay hike may make dining at McDonald's up to 20% more expensive, rendering it unaffordable for many customers. Because of this, the chain's operations in California, where it has 1,000 locations, may not be able to continue. In contrast, Urban Outfitters has experienced a reduction in foot traffic and net retail sales, which has led to a decline in demand for their more expensive product change. Retail sector behemoth Urban, the parent company of Urban Outfitters, reported an 8% loss in retail net sales as a result of this decline and ongoing poor performances. Analysts anticipate that by the end of the third quarter, the business may close about 70 locations. Due to decreased foot traffic, Target plans to close additional shops. Increasing instances of shoplifting and declining profits, Maryland, Virginia, Minnesota, and Pennsylvania supermarket stores will be affected by the initial round of closures. The store's performance over the past year has not improved, forcing the retail behemoth to make the difficult choice. Due to the economy's difficulties and the growth of e-commerce shops, Office Depot has already closed 63 stores this year and intends to close at least another 70. Due to foot traffic and revenue growth, Foot Locker may close up to 420 stores, malls, and 125 Champs Sports locations. Bath & Body Works plans to decrease costs and save $250 million by January 2024. Thus, the company is thinking of closing every one of its 50 sites in shopping malls. As it struggles with its financial situation, Spani is closing more locations in Indiana, New York, Minnesota, and California. Rent commitments and rising costs associated with supply chain interruptions, labor shortages, inflationary pressures, and due to the failure of those businesses and a bleak growth outlook, Sephora, a luxury apparel resale company, has made the difficult decision to permanently close all 300 of its locations inside of Spini and around 175 inside of Kohl's this year. Real Rule is also closing dozens of stores and 2 consignment offices across the United States. The move is expected to cost the company about $2 million. Despite these efforts, Real Rule has still struggled to become profitable. The year-to-date loss of $151.2 million is only slightly better than last year. Additionally, the company's financial situation is not very good. As the firm transforms to smaller, more efficient models, Sprouts Farmers Market has also revealed plans to liquidate underperforming stores in an effort to improve its financial position. The closures are anticipated to primarily affect Matt Sprout outlets. Although the precise location was not made known, reports indicate that stores in Texas, California, Georgia, Florida, and Washington may be affected. Due to the fact that so many large retail companies are battling to survive, as of April 30th, 2 locations in West Hollywood, California, and Wellington, Florida, had already been shut down. It is clear that struggling businesses have little chance of surviving in this and forgiving environment as consumers are losing stores that have served their communities for years. Unfortunately, it is likely that many other chains will be forced to take similar measures in the coming months as the economic impact of the pandemic continues to ravage the industry.